Okay, here we are on a brand new 2022 Low Rider S. This is the bike that everybody's been getting pretty excited about. So what's new about it? Obviously, it's got the biggest engine that Harley makes in production. That isn't a kit like the 131. This is how this bike comes stock with a 117 is what I'm trying to tell you, and that's as big as you're going to find a stock bike. And it's pretty cool. It's got kind of like a mini fairing here in the front. The big changes, I was told, is that this gauge, the speedometer, tachometer, and all that was on the tank. This makes it easier to see it. So this bike has been pretty sought after with this big engine. There's a lot of things you could do with this. You could add saddlebags to it. I'm sure you could do something to put like more fairings on it, or a windshield, something of that nature to give some wind protection. But it's a pretty cool bike, and I'm going to start it up. I'm also going to let it warm back up a little bit. Kickstand is pretty accessible. Sits comfortably. I think it's got a little bit higher seat height than what I'm accustomed to. Starts right up. Now this is a Milwaukee 8 engine, 117. And I'm told the tires aren't, they're a little slipperier, so be careful. And it's got 12 miles on it, so the engine's not broken in, so it's advisable for me to take it a little easier on it anyways. So let's get rolling. Okay, seating position. Let's start there. Oh yeah, it wants to get going. Seating position is kind of like the Sportster for me, where I'm kind of leaning into it. All right. Nice and smooth. I can still sit up if I want, but my arms are stretched out more. But that's probably more because I'm a short guy than it is anything else. Now let's see. This way I'm pretty much going to take the same route because it's within my parameters. Clutch feels good. Oh, the power really grabs you. I wasn't expecting that, but it felt good. I like that when a bike pulls you real quick, because sometimes you do need that to get away from traffic. Anybody who tells you that that's not a thing is lying to you, or they don't know any better. Holy crap, lots of torque. 117 is pretty good. Now I'm cruising along at basically the speed limit, no problem at all, and I got there fairly quickly. And I wasn't trying. I wasn't trying to push the engine anymore, and I feel is good at this point. It just kind of wanted to go. So now for me, this has my feet sit on pegs. I rather have floorboards that are a little bit more forward than they already are, and just kind of be able to relax and stretch out. But that's not a problem with the bike. That's my personal preference. The bike itself, the performance of it, I feel good about it. I feel confident on it. And I feel happy on it. So nothing wrong with that. Yeah, and it's easy to see the speedometer, which is nice. If I had to continually look down there, especially with a full face, that would be a little bit much. And I have to do that with my Fat Boy, and it is a little bit much. So putting that up there where you can see it, nice. It's a nice little quality of life thing that Harley-Davidson did. That is nice. Now if they can do that on all the bikes, I would really appreciate it. I think more and more people are starting to ride with helmets on. And full face helmets do kind of obstruct your bottom view. How does it handle that? How's the suspension feel? Not bad. Granted, I wasn't going over that at Mach 300, but you know, the Sportster that I just rode was a little bouncier. But that's what you would expect at a lower priced, lower tiered model. And you would expect a little bit better from this. So I feel good about that. Now for me, I would, because I'm a short dude, I would probably have to bring the handlebars a little bit more back towards me, do something with the handlebars just to get them back to me a little bit more. This thing has no problem picking up power. No problem at all. This is going to be a quick video just because I'm going to get to my destination a lot sooner. Brakes feel good, and I'm assuming this has ABS at this point. I guess I didn't really look, but I think any bike nowadays that's worth its salt should have it. It's just a really great safety feature. Yeah, first really kind of catches me off guard. It's not as much as the Street Glide of Pete's I rode. But no, I feel real confident on this bike, fairly comfortable. For me, I'd have to change how my body sits on it, but that's not a problem with the bike. I want to point that out. Now I notice, compared to the other low rider I ride, this handles the wind a lot better, and I feel like it's just as nimble. The vibration is it there? I guess it is a little bit, but it's not like really even noticeable till you're looking for it. Now, like as before, I'm not pushing this bike terribly hard because it's a new bike, the engine isn't broken in. But I guarantee you, once this engine gets broken in, somebody buys it, and somebody will. Once it gets to that point, you're going to be able to push this bike pretty good, and it's going to provide the power to you that you need to get to where you're going. And if you like doing twisties and going fast and all that stuff, this bike would be a fine choice. The clutch feels good. It's not super clanky. On my Fat Boy, I'm used to a loud clanky thing going on, which I kind of like. But it feels a little rougher. This feels pretty smooth in comparison, at least. Now it says to take the corner at 30 miles per hour. Oh yeah, corner's just fine. Use your whole lane. You're good. I feel good about it. Yep, plenty of torque, and I'm not even pushing it. I feel pretty good about the torque of this. And I can sit up and be in a more comfortable position, but it's a straight sitting up. I can't really lean back into it, which is kind of what I like to do. But again, that's not a problem with the bike. That's my preferences, that's my body size, that's a lot of other things that are about me than anything else. Now, since I'm on a bike, I'm going to take it a little, since I'm on a dealer bike, it's not mine, I'm going to be a little bit extra cautious. So I could have taken off at any point there probably, but we're going to be a little extra cautious. Now this is a fun little bike. Well, I shouldn't say it's little. Feels like this bike sits up a little higher too. I wonder if that can be lowered. I like my bike sitting a little lower. That's one of the great things about Harley-Davidson though. They're so customizable. You can make them fit you. You can make them fit your personality, your size, anything you can dream up, you can pretty much do within reason. Now this should definitely be a 6-speed. This bike kind of makes me want to get something a little bit more powerful, a little bit more torque than what I currently have in my Fat Boy. And I like it. Corners really easy. Do a little bit of counter steering at corners even easier. It's gonna be hard for me not to like a bike. But my initial impressions are, it runs good, it's fun, the torque is great. That's a favorite part of my biking experience. That's the favorite part of bikes for me is the torque, and this has got plenty of that. And it gets moving pretty good. There's no point in comparing it to sport bikes because it's not one. What a good time though. There. Easy to find neutral. Wow. This is definitely a bike I think a lot of people would love. And how does it feel balanced? It feels okay balanced. I think Harley did a pretty good job with this bike. I think it's one of the better examples of their 2022 lineup. And I think it's definitely one that's garnered a lot of attention for a lot of good reasons. You know, it's kind of basic, but it's kind of powerful. It's very modifiable. It's a lot of fun. Good power. And you can always make that power better. So you can change out the pipes. You can do a lot of things to make it sound a little bit louder or whatever you want from it. Hell of a good time.
Okay, let's talk about price. In Vivid Black, this starts out at $17,530 MSRP. Add another $450 for Gunship Gray. Another thing I'd like to point out that Harley-Davidson says this is for aggressive riding with sport bike agility. This is not a sport bike. Maybe a performance cruiser, but not a sport bike. So don't expect exactly sport bike capabilities. On a personal note, this would be a bike I personally would have to change for my riding style. I like forward controls, I like floorboards, that kind of thing. I like a relaxed riding position. On my Fat Boy, it's a steam roller type of stance. That's fine, but I would have to make modifications to this bike. If you're an aggressive rider, really want to hit the twisties, want to make a lot of noise and have a lot of power, this is a great bike, and I did have a lot of fun on it. So I would like to point out that you can go to Chippewa Falls Harley-Davidson, who does not sponsor me, but gives me the opportunity to ride some bikes. You can go there, and they'll give you a great service and be very happy to help you out like they were with me. I'd like to also say you can follow me on Twitter at RiderCodgerGame. I'd like to remind all bikers to ride safe and keep the shiny side up. I'd like to remind everyone else to live their best life. And to everyone, please thank a veteran or active service member for their service. They have earned your respect and gratitude. Have a great one.
Man, what bike do I ride? The Fat Boy? Or the Low Rider? I don't really know. Probably the Fat Boy. The Low Rider's a lot of fun, but I'll tell you what you can do. You can like, comment, and subscribe, and share while I try to decide which one I'm gonna ride. It's the best problem to have.